Another early morning. You're probably thinking, I have so many videos with me putting my shoes on early in the morning. Well, the videos are all very different if you really think about it. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So it's a very different video because yesterday I made the choice to get up early and run, but today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get after it again. So make the right decision.
Well, I'm on my way back right now. I'm going a half mile out, I'm going a half mile back. One thing I found out in life is if you want to get better, do the things that no one else wants to do. Do the things that no one else is even thinking about doing. Do the things that people think is stupid. It makes no sense. Because all you're doing is getting better. I tell you right now, the more things you can do, get outside that zone. That zone is that zone that makes you feel good. The stronger your mind's gonna get. It starts getting used to doing things like this. It's not fun, but my mind's used to it. A lot of people say that nothing's impossible. I even said that nothing's impossible several times in my life. I lied. There's a lot of things that are impossible for you to do. But what happens is, when we come across something that's very hard, and we try it once or maybe twice, we then say, we're done, we can't do it anymore. Before you say something's impossible, do it and do it and do it to a level that people think that you might be crazy until you say it's impossible. I'm tied up, hands and feet. I hate the water. I sink like a rock. But this is the one thing that almost stopped me from feeling my dreams. Trying to finish up my book here, going back through memory lane. I'm back in Indianapolis, Indiana, where it all started for me. One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. 19 years ago, 300 pounds, I was spraying for cockroaches. I made a decision to try to be a Navy SEAL. My whole goal was to go on this path every day after work and to run a mile to a mile and a half. This rock was about the 0.5 mark in my run. This rock was a moment that should have broken me. I got 0.5 into it. I weighed 297 pounds. I sat on this rock and I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspirational quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life. So I'm out here in Eugene, Oregon. Just got through training with Cameron Haynes. We did a 50K yesterday. A lot of people ask me about how do you train for ultra marathons? The big thing is you got to put some big runs in, followed by some medium runs. Yesterday I did a 50K. My legs were all beat down. Low was me, tired, feel like crap. But guess what? I know, how about days off? One day, but not today. If you're training for a nice big race, get your legs all tired, mucked up, jacked up, where your mind and body say, I don't want to do crap anymore. And guess what you do? You go out and get some more miles in. So yesterday, I did a 50K. Today I'm going to do a nice 15-miler, nice and easy. Legs feel like crap, but that's how they're going to feel at mile 60 and 70 of a 100-mile race. Get after it. Like I said, not today. Get after it. What I'm doing now, there's not enough fuel in my past. And once you sort it out, that flame goes out. It is a very, very powerful thing, but it can't overcome everything. I was angry once I was able to uncover the rug and look at all these different shells that I collected over the years and say, wow, that jacked me up. And that one jacked me up even worse than that one. And that one was real bad. And because what happens is when you start to collect all these shells, and these shells are bad things of your life, and you put them in your nice treasure chest and you hide them, you know, because it reminds you of where you were at, but you don't want to visit them all the time. When I started visiting these shells, I was like, my God, man, it was a tough way to go. But now looking back on it, man, I don't have any more shells. So now you have to learn to, now what's your passion? So now my passion is still trying to find out what is left, what is more. Can I be driven without the anger? And I can be. I've only dissected 44 years of my life. While I'm still living, I'm still in my live autopsy. So, right now, until I'm dead, I'm still examining human potential. How far can the mind go? How far can we go as human beings? So I call myself the Stephen Hawkins of the mind. He was obsessed with everything he ever dove into. The guy couldn't walk or anything, so he was like, the mind. That's one thing he didn't want to lose. And I became obsessed with it because it's the one thing that controlled me. So I became obsessed with this. What is this thing up here that just has me on a tightrope and just walks me into all these horrible decisions I make and makes me feel so pathetic and weak and insignificant and dumb and stupid and everything. I got to get control of this thing. But it's amazing that once you get control of that thing, how far you can go. I rode a bike a lot to lose the first initial kind of weight because my bones were just hurting so bad. My body was just broken. And I learned to get over that also. And I tried to swim a lot. I wasn't a great swimmer, but putting fins on kind of equalized my body. I wasn't so negative buoyant. So I started finning a whole bunch. And I spent hours in the pool, trying to get more and more comfortable. Not because I was going underwater. I was so scared of the water that I had to live in the water. I had to become one with the water. So going to the pool used to scare me. So I went to the pool an awful lot. And then the bike got easier. I was able to run more. I went from like 1 mile. 1 mile was a great accomplishment. 2 miles, and then from 2 to 3 was a big one. Then I went from 3 to 6. And then they have a warning order that they give people to get ready for buds. And the whole thing was running 6 miles 5 days a week. And that was my goal. And so I failed, I go back to scratch. I use some positive motivation. I have one day where I'm defeated. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. I had to realize this is part of my process versus just saying, like I used to, I'm just not good enough. If I'm not good enough, we always say that I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm gonna make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm gonna make myself good enough. And the days I couldn't run that far, the next week, I would do 2-a-days. So on the running, if I ran a quarter of a mile, I wait a couple hours, it'd haunt me, bother me. I try to run a half mile the next time, same day. You can do more than this. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. And just going further and further. And then when I got through running, I go to the bike, I go to the pool. If I got tired somewhere, my legs were tired, I go to the gym. And I developed this crazy workout where I was doing volume, 200-300 reps of very lightweight. People always say, how come you don't have any loose skin? My workout routine in the gym became sick. It became sick. I was just doing 200-300 reps, 400 reps on chest, just for one simple exercise, the bench press. And I would rack it, get back on it, just rep it out, trying to burn as many calories as I can, build that muscle mass. And I just became obsessed with it.